Greetings everybody and welcome to Backpacking TV. Today on the channel I wanted to talk about my favorite gear that is electronics, basically my favorite tech gear that I take on backpacking trips. So if you know me, I am not the biggest tech nerd out there, and certainly when it comes to backpacking, I'm a little bit analog. I like paper and compasses and things like that, but I have been backpacking over the last year with a new array of technology, and I wanted to get into it and share with you some of my favorite new items. Some of them are trusted old items, but many of them are new to me, so I wanted to share them with you. Before we get into the video, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mystery Ranch for helping to make this video possible. Now, Mystery Ranch is in the analog category. They make bomber backpacks that are just awesome, and I love them. I've been using them for a number of years now, and I truly appreciate them. So if you're looking for a great backpack, check out mysteryranch.com. And now, let's get into some great technology for backpacking. Okay, like I said, I have been more of a map and compass kind of guy and not trying to rely too much on battery-powered things. Now, that is kind of the theme of this show, though, here today, this episode, because I know a lot of you out there really like tech gadgets, and I have been learning some stuff lately, and there are a few things that I've been genuinely excited about adding into my repertoire. So I'm going to start here on my list. Yes, my phone is part of my technology, but that's not really what I'm getting into. My phone just plays with some of these items here. So first up on my list is the Zoleo satellite communicator. Now, I really like Zoleo because it makes a technology that is very similar to, say, the Garmin or the InReach or some of these others, but this one is just a little bit more economical. I like this one because it's just cheaper. Now, a lot of the other ones, they're just I get priced out of them. I'm not gonna spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars after you add in all the subscription fees to a satellite service. But this device itself costs $150. At least current retail price from my latest check-in. And then the subscription packages start at $20 a month. And now that is just quite a bit cheaper. I think the InReach is around $300 if I'm not mistaken there. So you can just get a lot more value out of this. Now, the Zoleo uses the Iridium network of satellites, and basically I have not been anywhere so far where I cannot get access to that satellite network to get a message out. Whether I'm letting my mom know where I am, which I know that she has definitely appreciated me starting to use this technology, or just starting to text with my partner, letting her know where I am and what's going on, and just checking in with people that I love. So I do really like being able to do that. And they have packages that go anywhere from, say, $20 a month, $30, $35 a month, and I think $50 a month, depending on how many messages you really plan on sending. But even just the basic package is, to me, plenty. Now, there are some other things that I really like that Zoleo does. One, it pairs with my phone, so I can just whip up the old Zoleo app. I can type in a text, and it's going to be sending that message directly when this thing is on and just connected via Bluetooth. So it's really handy. I'm not actually, using funky little buttons that are on here that are cumbersome and hard to use. And then the other thing that I really like is also the weather function. Now, this is really actually super useful. I've used this a lot. Is just checking in like, oh, what's tonight's low gonna be? Is there any incoming weather? And it does a really good job of actually finding the most local space to me wherever I am. Often I don't even know what to look up. I'll just hit the weather button and it'll bring me up and be like, oh, that's actually, I didn't know that this is where I was for what to look up for the 10-day forecast or the next 3-day forecast. And I love that function. You can also set it up to have it be a handy auto check-in. Just be like, hey, I'm okay. You don't even have to be doing too much. And then the SOS button, which is of course one of the main functions. If you do need to say, hey, I need some real help, it's a really simple button right here, which is really easy. That's covered so you won't be hitting it by mistake, or you can also hit that SOS from the app on your phone. So I really like it. It gives me peace of mind. More importantly, probably than for me, it gives my partner, my family, my friends some peace of mind when I'm on a backpacking trip. And I just really like being able to do that. Next on my list is a watch. Now, just generally speaking, I typically do like to backpack with watches just to tell what time it is. But I don't like the super techie based watches where you can download maps and kind of do a lot of craziness. So I have found a sweet spot with the Casio ProTrek. Now this model is the PRG240, which one of the main things that I really like about this one is that it's all powered by the sun. So it has some solar powering going on, so I never need to worry about plugging it in, how much battery life is left. And to me, it's just the right amount of technology. I don't need to know what my current heart rate is. I don't need to know a lot of things, but I like being able to know what my altitude is. And I really also like the compass feature. So it can always point me to north, and I can do some basic navigating with this feature as well. Now, a lot of people do like the more advanced fancy watches. But to me, when you're backpacking or you're out in the woods, I feel like it takes away from the experience a little bit. Plus, they typically only have like a 2 to 4 day battery life, and then you got to worry about plugging them in again. And to me, I just really like the simplicity of not ever even thinking about that at all. So you can set your alarms, you can do your standard, obviously, timekeeping. But to me, just being able to track my altitude, check the barometer, which I kind of don't really use very much, but it is handy if you want to know if you got a storm front moving in. And then the compass, of course. So the two main features for me are compass and altimeter that I genuinely use quite a bit, as well as just setting an alarm if I need to get up in the morning for catching a sunrise. So that's it for me on the watch. Next on my list is probably the sexiest item on this list, and I have to give a shout out again to Dan Becker for introducing me to this item. We were backpacking together in South Dakota, and he introduced me to the Tiny Pump X from Flextail Designs. Now you might be wondering what this is, but if you're a fan of Dan Becker, then you definitely know what this is. It is a funky device for pumping up air mattresses, pillows, whatever you might need. Hair dryer, for perfectly coiffed hair. It's really awesome for inflating up air mattresses. Just make it dead simple. You don't have to think about it. And what I also really like about it is that, And what I also really like about it is that it doubles as a light. I like really being able to double up some of these features and not just have it for one thing. So you can hang it. You can take this nozzle off, not necessary to be on there all the time. Hang it from your tent, and you've got a nice little lantern. So it has a couple of different brightness modes. You got to hold it down. When you hold it down, then click it, I believe you can get it all the way up to 400 lumens, which is pretty dang bright. Now, of course, if you do put it at 400 lumens, you're going to drain that battery, so it's not going to be as useful for pumping up your air mattress. Speaking of which, let's give it a demonstration here right now. So I got the Sea to Summit Etherlight XT. Let's see how long this takes. Oh baby, that makes it painless. All right, so how many charges can you get out of this? I believe it's 3 to 4 inflations off of a single charge. Of course, if you also start using it as a light, you're probably going to cut into that. But pretty handy. So Tiny Pump X for the win. Next up on my list is a battery bank. Now, I typically don't like to actually take too many tech items that require now bringing battery banks and things like that, because it does tend to get a little cumbersome. But I've found one that I really like that is lightweight, and that's the main thing, is it's super simple and lightweight. This is the Flex 3 power bank from Ledlenser. Now, Ledlenser primarily makes headlamps and lighting features that I've been using for a while, but I really like this power bank. One, it's really super simple. It's got, you know, a couple of buttons here to check in on the power level status. Currently we're at halfway. But I also really like that inside it's got a fully removable lithium ion battery that if you have other tech, now Ledlenser makes this fits in some of the other big robust headlamps that Ledlenser makes, but certain other tech items that aren't related to Ledlenser use this same battery. So it's useful in other scenarios as well, but mostly I just really like that it's a really simple, lightweight way to, you know, double up my phone or the next thing on my list here, which is really what I use it for. So if anybody has been curious as to what kind of camera equipment I've been filming some of my own adventures with, that is all made possible by the DJI Pocket. The Mimo is the app, that's right. That has all been made possible by the DJI Pocket Creator 2. Now, the Pocket Creator 2 means that it's basically containing some extra little goodies, like this Bluetooth receiver for a microphone. So when I'm out on the trail and kind of doing like some vloggy stuff, I really like this lightweight camera. Boop. Super fun little guy there. You can see what's going on maybe in this little screen. But it's really handy for doing, you know, just kind of your selfie style videos. You can also just turn this baby pointed around, you know, and then you can also see what you're filming there. And it's just a really handy, lightweight, on-the-go system. Now, most of you backpackers probably aren't filming your own YouTube content, but if you are, this is a pretty cool way to go. And I also do recommend getting the attachable microphone because it definitely improves your audio quality, cuts down on wind noise. That's going to make a big difference. So if that is the sort of thing that you're into, then I definitely recommend the DJI Creator. It's a cool system, and what I have found is that I can get about 2.5 days of battery life out of filming pretty frequently just with what this holds, and then I can double it. I can get a full new charge with this as well. So I can plug that in and then go for another, say, 2.5 days off of that. And of course I could use that for my phone or any other little tech items that I might be backpacking with. Last on my list is apps. So there's only one real app that I use, and I know that a lot of people out there are really familiar with Gaia, and I just kind of haven't really gotten into that one. And the app that I used is called CalTopo. Now, CalTopo does some really cool things. I'm sure that there's a lot of crossover between what the capabilities are between CalTopo and Gaia and Onyx, however you say that one. Some of the other map functions, map apps that are out there. But I really like CalTopo because I can do some research on my computer. One of the things that I like is being able to look at, say, the aspect of a slope, which is really handy if you're a backcountry skier out there. You can know what kind of slopes and terrain you're going to be on, which is especially handy for avalanche danger, but also for like sun exposure. Like I was just doing a backpacking trip in the Grand Canyon, and it would have been really handy to know just how much south-facing rock I was going to be on, to know that I was going to be sunblasted literally the entire day for like 4 days straight. You can set a route and then follow that route, of course, you know, in a really handy way. It'll point to which way you're heading just by choosing your phone direction, so it's hard to get lost. But another thing is that I'll tap on my route, I can click view profile, and I can literally see the elevation gain and loss that I'm going to be going through at any point in the trail. So I really like that. Now again, I'm not super familiar with some of the other apps, so maybe those all do the same thing and I'm just oblivious. But for $20, you get access to like a lifetime of CalTopo usage. You can download offline maps, you can put all these quadrants on your phone, and it's really a handy way to go. And it's just the one that was introduced to me, and that's kind of the one that I've now started using from there. Okay, folks, that's the tech that I take backpacking. Now, I would love to hear from you guys, especially in this category, because I am not, like I said, not the most tech savvy dude out there in the world. And there's probably some stuff that you all are way more familiar with. And you're like, dude, you gotta try the OXC systems from, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. But you guys know the tech that's out there probably better than me. So hit me up in the comments below with what am I missing? And if you use any of these items, I would love to hear from you. See if you give it your thumb of approval too, your thumbs up of approval as well. And that's my list. Let me know how I'm doing here. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up on the channel. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe here to Backpacking TV. I'd love to see your face here again in the future. That's it for me. I'm going to go recharge all of my collective batteries, so to speak. So I'm Eric Hansen. I'll see you out there.